Hello, everybody. I know it's been a while since I've posted anything, just busy living my life, keeping the Heavenly Father first, and His name is Yah, or some call Him Yahuwah, but I call Him Father Yah. Just, living my life and trying to keep myself clean and keeping myself away from temptations and just trying to live a righteous, right life. Still dealing with little witchcraft attacks here and there, but that's to be expected. Because when you're actually the father's kids, you're going to get persecuted. So, hey, I can handle it. So today, everybody, I came across something on YouTube. Another one of those lost books that I've told y'all about. And this is a really good one. This one's called, this book is called MEQABYAN. And in the order of the Bible, MEQABYAN is right between Esther and Job. There's three books of it. 1, 2, and 3 of MEQABYAN. And I'm going to go over the parts that stood out to me. But what you can do is go on YouTube and type it up and listen to it for yourself. So everyone, I hope you get something out of this. And I'm sorry that it took so long for me to come back to y'all, but I'm always going to come back to y'all. No matter how long it takes for me to get inspiration or to find something to bring out, I'm going to always come back to y'all. So here we go. First book of MEQABYAN.
The first book of MEQABYAN is about the faith of a family, led by Maccabees and his three sons, who defy the tyrannical king Satan and refuse to worship idols. It describes the brothers Abiah, Shelah, and Pantos, choosing to be martyred for their faith rather than bow to idols, and their story serves as a testament to faith under pressure. The book recounts the conflict between the family and the idol-worshipping king Satan. The conflict. The three sons, Abiah, Shelah, and Pantos, refuse to worship the king's idols, even when threatened with death. The struggle. The brothers ultimately face and accept their martyrdom for their faith rather than compromise. The outcome. Their story is presented as an example of courageous faith and resistance to oppression.
From a canon few have heard, a rare text in the Ethiopian Bible, preserved for centuries in Ge'ez. Not legend, not apocryphal rumor, a witness to faith under fire. An empire demands worship. Idols rise in gold and smoke, and a remnant refuses to kneel. Brothers bound by covenant, a people tested as steel meets flame. Edicts thunder, altars to false gods glitter. The choice is carved into every heart, bow or burn. Prepare to step inside the trial, to feel the heat, the holy resolve, and the moment idols fall. From a canon the world forgot, until now. This is the first book of MEQABYAN. Chapter 1. There was a man named Satan, Antiochus IV Epiphanes, a lover of wickedness, who boasted proudly about his many horses and the strength of the soldiers under his command. He had a multitude of priests who ministered to his idols he worshipped, bowing down and offering sacrifices to them both night and day. In the blindness of his heart, he believed these idols gave him lasting power and stability. In his mind, they were the source of all his dominion and control. And whenever they were represented in physical form, he believed they bestowed upon him all the authority he desired. So he continued offering sacrifices to them without ceasing, day and night. He appointed priests to carry out these acts of worship to his idols. These priests, while feasting on the defiled offerings, deceived him, pretending the idols were consuming the food both day and night. They also recruited others to follow their example, to make offerings, to feast, and to continue the same pattern of worship and sacrifice. Yet Satan placed his trust in lifeless idols, things that could neither help nor bring any real gain. Because his days were short and his understanding darkened, it seemed to him that the idols had created him, nourished him, and crowned him. He believed they were the source of his existence. For Satan had dulled his reasoning, so he would not recognize his true creator, he who brought him from death into life. Nor would he or his kinsmen acknowledge the one who made them, bringing them from nothing into being. And so they were led toward the eternal fire of Gehenna, along with all who called those false gods by the name deity, though they were not gods at all. Since they never bring any good, it is fitting to call them what they are, dead things. For the power of Satan, who leads them astray, dwells in those lifeless images. He speaks what they want to hear and reveals to them the desires of their hearts. Therefore, Yah will bring judgment upon the idols in which they trusted, idols in whom the children of Adam placed their hope, though their thinking was no more than ashes. And when they see that the idols gave them what they had longed for, they will be amazed. But according to their desires, they will go so far as to sacrifice their own sons and daughters, children born from their own bodies, shedding the blood of sons and daughters who were pure and innocent. And this did not grieve them, for Satan delighted in their offerings to the idols. Through them he fulfilled his wicked schemes, leading them downward into Gehenna, just as he was cast down into a place with no escape for all eternity, where he will suffer torment. But Satan was proud and boastful. He had 50 idols fashioned as male figures, and 20 made in the form of women. He gloried in these useless images, honoring them as he made sacrifices morning and evening. He gave commands that others must also offer sacrifices to these idols, and he ate from those defiled offerings. He ordered others to eat as well, stirring them up toward even greater evil. He had 5 houses built to contain his idols, each one crafted from beaten iron, brass, and lead. He adorned them with silver and gold, hung curtains around the houses, and set up a special tent to enshrine them. He appointed guards to watch over the idols, and he regularly offered 40 sacrifices to them, 10 fattened oxen, 10 barren cows, 10 plump ewes, and 10 sterile goats, along with various birds of the air. He believed his idols actually consumed these offerings, so he brought them 50 measure of grapes and 50 platters of wheat mixed with oil. And he said to his priests, "Take these and give them to my idols. Make them eat what I have slaughtered for them, and make them drink the wine I have poured out. And if it isn't enough, I'll add even more." He commanded everyone to eat and drink from those defiled sacrifices. But in his wickedness, he sent out his soldiers across every kingdom to find anyone who did not bow down or offer sacrifice. If they found such a person, they were to bring him back, so he could be punished before the king's eyes with fire and sword. His wealth would be plundered, his house burned, and all he owned destroyed. He declared, "These gods are good and mighty. They created us in kindness, and anyone who does not worship them or offer sacrifice will suffer punishment and misery. For these gods made the heaven and the earth, the vast sea, the sun and the moon, the stars, the rains, the winds, and every living thing in this world to be our food and our satisfaction. But all who worship them will face severe judgment and terrible suffering.
Well, everybody, that concludes the first chapter of the book. And I just want to point out that I know the images here are all white people, but we all know that that's Black history. All that took place in Africa, not in Europe, not in Rome, where the Caucasian people are at. That's all Black history, everybody. But the point that, but what really stood out to me is all that idol worship, those false gods. People do that to this day. And they're going to get judged for it. They're going to be in a whole lot of trouble for it. Trust me, y'all, the ones who's already passed away, they're already in trouble for it. They're already down there being punished. And that's not the worst of it. That's just the waiting room. Wait till they get judged. It's going to be even worse what they're going through now. When all you have to do is just love the Heavenly Father and do His laws, statutes, and commandments. That's all you got to do. Instead of chasing after lust, which is a very deadly thing to do. But yeah, that's chapter 1, everybody. I will be back with more chapters of this book. Like I said, this book here, you can go to YouTube and find it. Until then, everybody, stay blessed. Thank you.